Geheim.
Nou dis 10:10 en jy weet as jy ingeskakel is weekliks saam met my kuier ons gewoonlik saam met 'n character company hierdie tyd en ek gaan jou nou na my Facebookblad toe vat want ons het vanoggend 'n nuwe gesig wat saam met ons kuier en dit is Grace en Como. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, that is so amazing. And we are on Facebook Live as well. So it's so nice that people can see who we are talking to. And it's always great to connect with people. And that's exactly what your company's name is as well. And that is Connect. Can we please jump away, Grace, and just talk a little bit about who are you, where you're from, and who and what is the Connect Network?
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you once again for this opportunity. It's wonderful to be with you. Lovely to have a little bit of sunshine this morning, here and there.
You are, yeah, just here and there.
Here and there. Yes, so I'm Grace and Cornwall. I'm the director of Connect Network. I've been the director of Connect Network for nearly 5 years now.
Wow.
It was started by Dee Moskoff, and we are celebrating our 20 years anniversary this year. We have our AGM coming up next month, so looking forward to that.
That's going to be
We
amazing.
are a network, as the name suggests, of about 90 plus organizations made up of NGOs, faith-based organizations, primarily in the Cape Town area at this stage, although we are always talking about whether we should be expanding, but obviously would need to serve wherever we expand well. So we deal predominantly with issues around child protection and safeguarding, child well-being, and issues of vulnerability of women. So women and children are our focus, but obviously we understand that that means healthy families and healthy communities. So we have a community-based approach, actually, in order to serve our women and children effectively.
So Grace, if I can just go one step back, so that means that you are working with 90 plus NGOs and organizations, and that's exactly what you do. You connect them to go into the right directions of where to actually utilize and also become part of a bigger network that all these focus groups that you are working on, that's child and women protection, can benefit from. Why is this focus so important?
Yes, so I'm sure I don't need to remind all our listeners and viewers that the issues that our children, that our women are facing in our communities, in our country, we know that issues of child protection and child fatalities, to be quite honest, are the reality for many of our children, and all of us would really love to work towards that not being the case. We know that women are facing a crisis as well of abuse, and that families are not as functional as we would love them to be. So within the organization, the 90 organizations that are part of us are all totally independent and autonomous. They are all focusing on different aspects of child well-being and how to strengthen children and families. So we have organizations that support the police to empower them around issues of child protection. We have organizations that deal with trafficking. We have many organizations in the early childhood development space. We have organizations that are dealing with family strengthening. And many organizations are dealing with many of these issues. So what we do as a network is then provide opportunities to network, so to find out what each other are doing, how they can learn from each other. We facilitate and present opportunities for equipping. So we do a range of different capacity buildings, from strengthening organizations to help them develop their policies, their procedures, in a range of topics. And we do trauma-informed work. So that is around the equipping. We then very much look at how we can facilitate collaborations, because that's really where the strength comes in and where the power of working together comes in. That each organization brings their strength and says, look, we'd like to add this to the pot. And, to really work towards kingdom initiatives where together we are bring in that bit that God has given us in the arena and the strength, and we say, let's bring it together and advance and really start to see breakthroughs in these areas. So, and then advocacy is also a key component. So yeah, the strengths and the range is what we try and draw together and advance, again, for the kingdom and for the safety and security of our children.
I love that. I love that. Grace, how does this network function work, or how does the activities around the networking work? How do you guys get together? How do you intertwine all these networks together with each other?
Yeah, and that's a great question, because obviously a network is a slightly different concept, really.
Yes.
So, how we do facilitate this. So, the key and the foundational meeting or get together that we have is our prayer meetings that we have quarterly, because we are now having them again in person, and we know that people travel from all over Cape Town. So, because we have affiliates from as far as Stellenbosch to Ocean View to the northern suburbs and all around Cape Town. So we have in-person prayer meetings, which really, as we say, is the most important meeting of all, where we'll pray into these issues. And then we usually have a speaker from the network give input. We then, we have some online capacity building, which then, so our quality improvement system is online. And that's ensuring organizations have their policies and systems in place. We have workshops around trauma-informed, which is workshops as well as mentoring, and certain organizations have signed up for those processes. But then really where the collaborative space comes from and where these other projects emerge from is in our working groups. So we have thematic working groups, which affords organizations the opportunity to say early childhood, child ambassadors, youth focus, family strengthening, trauma-informed. That's where our niche is, and that's where our strength is, and that's where we want to learn, and we want to receive, and we want to give, which is a key principle of our network. And that's where they meet together and kind of map their path together. So, for example, our trauma-informed work, which is now an extensive work serving the network, that emerged from a working group where like-minded organizations came together and said, we've all learned a little bit, but let's put that together and grow this.
Yeah, that's amazing, Grace. I think, and that's exactly where the strength comes from, is if you start collaborating with the knowledge that you have, but you can't maybe just fulfill the whole or go the whole way, and now you start taking hands with other organizations. Grace, what if someone sits here this morning, they have an NGO, they have something that they can definitely connect with your Connect? How can they get hold of you?
Great. I think probably best to contact me directly. I can give you my cell phone number, or they can email us. But my cell phone number is 082 956 4194. And they're welcome to give me a shout, and we can discuss what we're up to in a little bit more detail in the network and how they can connect with us. Our prayer meeting is, in fact, on Wednesday. So if anyone would like to join us there, they are more than welcome to.
Where are you gathering, Grace?
We're meeting at one of our affiliates, Beautiful Gate in Philippi. So that is one of our more central affiliates, in fact, just off the N2, off the R300. So they're more than welcome to join us there. They can just get in touch and let us know. So we will have a breakfast pack for them. And then they can also email us at info@connectnetwork.org.za.
I'm just going to repeat all those numbers and all those email addresses, so you can get Grace, but also contact Grace at 082 956 4194, or you can send an email to info@connectnetwork.org.za. Am I correct with that one? Yeah, I will definitely put this on as well. And if you can't get hold of Grace, then you're more than welcome to WhatsApp us the station at 081 729 1657, and we will also provide you with all the details. Just the last word of motivation for our listeners, Grace, from your side. Just in these times that we are in, just something, that you would like the listeners to leave with.
Yeah, great. I think it's so important that every single listener knows that they really can make a difference in the life of a child, in the life of a woman, a family that might be in a vulnerable situation. And I think maybe a little important to reflect that each one of us has a responsibility, actually a legal responsibility, that if we suspect abuse in any way, in any form, that we need to report that. And we can report that to our local. Probably the best and maybe most convenient way to go ahead is to report at our Tutuzela centers, where one can get guidance, advice, and it's a one-stop shop. So that is an excellent place to go and seek advice, or if one actually needs to take someone in. But I think, it's so easy to feel quite helpless in these with these situations around us and the challenges that face the vulnerable in our communities. But that each one of us, simply by reporting, and we can do it anonymously. We don't need to get involved. We don't need to go to a household and knock on a door, but we can reach out and get that support and guidance, and that we don't need to feel hopeless, but we can, in assisting one person, in assisting one child, in reaching out, in getting them the appropriate support from these channels that are available. Each one of us can make a difference, and each one of us, if we do the work to in our own lives and in our own families as well, to be those safe spaces and those safe people. So I think that would be my key message. That easy to get overwhelmed. There's a lot happening, but each one of us, really and truly, by God's grace, can make a difference in the lives of the vulnerable around us, and that is what God's put us here for. So to really just press into that.
That's our job. That's not just something to look at. I'm going to leave you, Grace. Thank you so much for being on my show today. Thank you for the work that you do. We really bless you in the amazing work that you are doing with connecting all these companies together and really make a difference out there. Not just sitting and watching and be a bystander, but really getting your hands dirty to really see how you can involve and get involved with that. And if you want to also be part of the Connect Network, you can give Grace a shout out on her cell phone number on 082 956 4194, or you can send her an email to info@connectnetwork.org.za. Thank you so much, Grace, and have a fantastic week. We hope that we see the sun a bit more on this side, and may God just bless your work and the doings of what you guys are doing out there. Thank you so much for that.
So much. You too.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you. Keep well.